Alright, welcome back to Lysisathon. Again, we got Totally Spies 2 Undercover being run by SuperSqank.
Hello everyone and welcome. This is Totally Spies 2 Undercover for the GBA. It's based on a TV show and this game is not good to say the least, but the run does have a few interesting things I think. So timing will start as soon as I make a new save file, which should be 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we're immediately getting into the game, and we have 5 chapters to do. I believe they're all based on episodes of the show, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the first chapter. We have 5 chapters in total. There's 2 available at any given time, and in order to beat the game, you just have to finish the final chapter. So we're only doing 4 out of the 5 chapters in this run. So I'm on the first level right now. There's not a ton to say about this level. The main notable thing is that if I get to the edge of this car, I can refill it quicker, like that. It'll be a few tries to get, but that's what the fast refill looks like compared to the slow refill. So in this first level, you're mainly just dodging traffic, and then when the truck comes on screen, you just fill up that bar. Make sure you don't take too many hits. Gets progressively harder each time. So I do want to try and get close enough to get the double bar refill, but it's a little bit awkward to do sometimes. And you don't always know where the health's going to be either, so you've got to be wary of that. Like there, it was in front of the car, which was definitely not what I wanted, but these things happen sometimes. I might as well mention now there are actually 2 different versions of this game, one for GBA and one for DS. This is the GBA version. The DS version of this game is better in some ways, but worse than others. Both games are not good. But this GBA run is shorter, so it's definitely a less grueling run, to say the least. Both games have similar levels, but some levels are a little bit different, depending on the version. On this second level, what we have to do is we have to connect all these traces together. On the DS, you use a touchscreen, but in this version, you just, use the regular things on the GBA. Level's RNG, so that's not ideal at all. But this is a very bad pattern, for example. And I got it again, which is not fun. So you just move this along. You just have to do this 5 times without messing up. And I've been given another terrible pattern, which, it's a marathon, I guess, so these things happen. And we have one final pattern. This one seems a bit better than the other ones. And that's that level done. And then we have this level, where you have to take out this tornado. Basically, you run away from the tornado, and then once you get to a wall, you can hit the tornado. So my main hope here is not dying, because that can absolutely happen. Yeah, there's not a ton to say about this level, because you just have to run away from the tornado and just hit it as soon as possible, ideally. Like that. And I just have to do that 4 more times. Yippee! And hopefully those bricks won't hit me. They didn't hit me. That's good. But there are a lot more bricks that can hit me. I've never actually watched the show. It's not something I'm planning on doing anytime soon. But yeah, there's not really a lot to say about this level, so if the hosts want to add on into anything, say what we need to say, then go ahead.
Awesome. Well, we don't have any current donations, but we have raised $611 so far, which is amazing. I just want to remind everyone that Lysisathon 2026 is pleased to be raising money for the Transgender Law Center. The TLC is America's largest transgender civil rights organization dedicated to the liberation and well-being of gender non-conforming people across the U.S. We appreciate anything you can give in support of this fight, and y'all have been doing amazing so far. Let's keep that momentum going. Thank you all so much for your donations so far.
Right, so now we only have 2 hits left. And at least I'm full on health. Not anymore because those bricks have enormous hitboxes. It's not pleasant. Yeah, this level's just basically doing the same thing 5 times, but it gets harder each time. This is one of those levels that is worse in the GBA version. Ah, didn't mean to pause. So I just need to hit this thing again. Hope I don't get hit by any of the bricks. No heart. I did take another hit, but I should be fine. I should be fine. There's a little zip you can do on the benches, which is fun, but not RTA viable, and it doesn't even save time, so I unfortunately can't show it off. But we are at the end of the level now. Take one last hit to the tornado, and we are finished. And now we have our first boss, where I just need to mash the button and just hope that it hits the boss. No guarantee whether it'll hit or not. That's not gonna hit. Annoying. Okay, and now I've hit the boss. There we go. So that's chapter 1 done. Now we have these confessionals, which we can just skip. We can just quit out of them. And now we can move on to chapter 3. Like I said, we only need to do 4 of the chapters in this game. We skipped chapter 2 because, well, it's the longest. It's like 2 long auto-scrollers. So this world starts off with this little dancing minigame. This minigame's really short in the GBA version, like weirdly short, while in the DS version it drags on for way too long. So that's one of the funny differences between the 2 versions. Yeah, this is just a basic DDR one. You just press the buttons when they appear in the hearts. You just do that for like 40 seconds, and then the level finishes before you know it. So we just do a few more of these, and as you can see, we're already done. We're already done. And now we have our first proper platforming level. Sam is the best spy. But unfortunately, we don't get to play as that much in this version, especially since we skipped chapters 2. So this level has a bunch of stealth sections in these boxes, and then you have to wait for these enemies. If you get caught by them, you get sent back, and it's very annoying. Unfortunately, you cannot skip most of them, at least feasibly. There's a little skip you can do here, where you can make that jump, and that skips a bunch of the stealth sections. It's a very easy skip. It is technically possible to skip pretty much every single one of these guards, but it's pretty much SAS only. So what you can do is that in the boxes, you can actually do an infinite jump, which I'm going to try and demonstrate, and I can. First I've got to get out this box and activate this little console. Which opens the door to the end of the section. I need to be careful not to get caught by him, because he can definitely catch me if I'm not careful. Like, I moved too early, so he caught me. There, that's the infinite jump. There I got the infinite jump. It's a frame-perfect trick, so it's just not something you can practically do in real time. There's a lot of utility in a TAS setting. This is a guard we can actually skip. If I get as close to him as possible, I can get out of the box and skip him. But I don't think I'm close enough to him. Pretty much frame-perfect movement. And thanks to good luck, Chris. Chris right here is an absolute legend. We just need to get past this guy. And then we get to go to the next part of this level, which is more of the same but a little bit shorter. So we go in here, and we go up here. There are two routes we can take, but at least in a real-time setting, this route makes more sense. So we go along here, then we jump up here, and then we have to avoid two of these guards right now. Now I'm going to do an exploit, which I call Turbo Box. You do a single jump before getting the box, you can move and jump way fast from the boxes, like this. Very fun, but in an RTA setting it doesn't really matter much, if at all. So we're going to open up this door, and that will be the end of the level. You get hit by a light you can barely see. I do a little jump to get up here quickly. And that's the end of this level. Now the next level is a level that makes you question why they even fit in the game. But this is basically Wordle. You just put in the characters and you just hope you put in the right ones. And the level is done before you even know it. Crazy. Now here is the most interesting level in this game. Because this level has a big skip. A big, difficult skip. So I'm supposed to go to the right, because this door is closed. I have to take a huge detour to open it, but we can clip through this door. The only problem is that it's very hard. So what I want to do is I want to jump as he is about to hit me. If I do it correctly, I can get past the door. The problem, however, is that it is a very precise trick. And depending on my timing, there are two different setups I have to do. There, I jumped too early. Might be a problem. Oh no, it's fine. Nice, I got it. And I didn't even have to reset. Nice. We can do that, and that skips a big chunk of the level. It saves like nearly a minute, I think. So right there, we've skipped the whole load of the level with a trick that's basically frame perfect. Like, there are different setups you have to do depending on your timing, and it's kind of whack. Now I'm on my last piece of health, but there's a health piece of health here, so it's not too bad. And then I can open this door. You can skip opening that door as well as the first one, but it's hard. So I decided not to do it in this run. We go on this platform, and that's the end of Chapter 3. Quite a bit shorter than it's supposed to be because the skip can do, mainly in that fourth level. So now we have Chapter 4, which starts off with this field level. So there are a few things to note on this level. First of all, the frame rate is awful. Like, the game just cannot handle these visuals combined with the sound at the same time. If you turn off sound, it removes most of the lag, but I have sound on, so it's very lagging, to say the least. Another thing to note is that whenever you're going downwards, it kind of looks like Clover has laser eyes, which is kind of funny. And the third thing is that I do a specific route. You have to find all of these pictures, but I have a certain route to do it as efficiently as possible. So I start off by going downwards, and then I can move to the right to get the fourth one. There is a skip that exists here, but it is TAS only. It's way too difficult, requires a million frame perfect inputs, and it barely saves time. And I moved down too early, so I got hit. That took forever. And that TAS skip only saves like 2 or 3 seconds with TAS execution. Basically just pause and unpause a gazillion times so you can walk through the enemy part. But it's not doable in real time. And even if it was, there's no way you'd be able to do it fast enough for it to save time. But yeah, what I did after I got that 5th picture is that I deliberately got hit by the enemy who takes me back to the beginning of the level. And then I can use that to get these pictures faster. I went down 1 step too far. And then I just go down here, and I can get all the rest of the pictures from here. So we go this way. go back this way. We use our laser eyes to go down. Go technically using like a supersonic boombox. But her eyes flash. It looks like she's laser eyeing. And we got our last picture. So from there we can go back up. And then it'll be the end of the level. So just a little bit along. And there we go. That's the end level. This next level is very simple. Basically just a shooting gallery. You just play the shooting gallery for a minute and a half. You just shoot the vegetables and make sure they don't hit the spies. Yeah, there's not much to say, so if the licensed foreign hosts have anything to say, then go ahead.
Awesome. Well, I would just like to remind everyone that our $1,000 milestone is for showing off bonus cut content from Neopets The Darkest Fairy for our final day. I absolutely love cut content, so absolutely donate to that. If we can get to $1,000 by the end of day 3, then we'll get that bonus showcase of cut content, which is amazing. We're at 611 right now. I know we can get there. We have like a day and a half to get there. Thank you all so much for your support. This has been amazing so far.
Alright then, good luck to all of you. And right now we're getting close to the end, but we're not quite there yet. And I've taken 2 hits, which is a little bit scary. So there are a bunch of different vegetables, you can shoot them. There really is nothing to say about this level. You can technically lose time due to lag, but I don't think that's something you can really control in a real-time setting. So we just shoot the vegetables. This might be the end level. Okay, it is the end level, thank goodness. Last health as well. And now we're on this level. This is another platforming level, although not quite as broken as the other one, unfortunately. So we can go along here as normal, but we can do some skips here. We can climb up the left side of this level, or the right side of this level, I should say, which you're not supposed to do, but you can very easily do it. So just take this guy out, go higher, and make sure I hit him as well. And then we have this bit, which is quite annoying. We have to get this guy to throw his Brussels sprout at the wall, but that's annoying. You can actually hit this lever and then jump downwards, and that soft locks the game. Which shouldn't really happen in a run, but it's a thing that can happen regardless. So we just go through here, take this guy out, and then we have the boss. And this boss is an example where the DS version is actually better than the GBA version, because this boss is not fun, to say the least. We have this guy, and this guy is horrible. He is absolutely horrific. You can only hit him when he pops his head out, but he only pops his head out when he feels like it. And sometimes it takes forever to get a hit on him. He's just so annoying. Like, he just refused to pop his head out there. This level is RNG. They literally started off with the worst bit as well, which is even more wild. You can change the trajectory depending on where you're standing, as in the trajectory of the hay. But yeah, this boss is annoying. And sometimes they can hit the hay before you can hit it. So these next 2 phases are better, because at the very least, you can consistently hit them. You can't just hide and you can't hit them. But sometimes you can do that and you hit the wrong way. That's obviously not ideal. This last guy, he's pretty similar to the second guy. But you just make sure you don't get hit by him. And there we go, that's chapter 4 done. And we are moving on to the final chapter now. Spies in Space. This first level is pretty much just an auto-scroller. I just have to try and not die, more or less. So if there's anything else that the hosts want to say, then feel free.
Alright, well, I would just like to remind everyone once again that we are raising money for the Transgender Law Center. Not only do they support the queer community through pro bono volunteer work and legal resources, but they're also at work in court protecting the rights and lives of LGBTQIA+ Americans. Right now, they are arguing in the cases of areas of healthcare, immigration, prisons, and the policing of queer people. Thank you for helping them fight for our rights. We have raised $611 so far. We also do have a poll for our upcoming Wu-Tang run for choosing the character. Right now, it's very close, 205 for Method Man and 192 for Master Killer. So there's still plenty of room for Master Killer to become the character. So be sure to get your donations in with those polls. You can choose which character you want your money to go to when you donate.
Alright then, so this level's split up into 3 parts, and I've just entered the 3rd part. This level's kind of weird because in order to go up, you have to press the A button, so you just have to mash the A button to go up. You can't go too high or too down, or too far down, or else, you know, you won't live. But this level is very straightforward. You just make sure you don't get hit too much. You just make sure you go into the exit as quickly as you can. And try not to get hit like that, which I couldn't avoid. But I should be fine, hopefully. There's health here, so that will help. I managed to avoid taking a hit. And now we are on 5-2, which is another platforming level. So in this level, we have to take out 6 speakers and 6 spotlights. So we do have a route for this. We start off by doing these speakers. Fairly straightforward. This level's not super broken or anything, but it really shows how janky the platforming in this game can be. This game is very janky platforming physics, which can be quite frustrating. And there's a lot of jumps you can think you can make, but you can't. And wall jumping is also extremely frustrating in this game. Sometimes you wall jump when you don't want to, sometimes you wall jump when you... well, you don't wall jump when you do want to, and yeah, it's just a bit of a mess. It's annoying to deal with. You can move slightly faster in the platforming levels by forming a double jump. So that's something I try and do sometimes when I can. That's the left 3 speakers done. So I just need to do these ones now. On the right side, of course, we've got to do all the flashlights first. I nearly hit the wrong direction there, which makes you take a hit. So we just got to make sure I don't do that. So I just need to fall down here. I'm gonna wait for this because I don't want to risk having too little health. You can easily die here if you're not careful. Then we have this bit. I can make this jump, and I actually made it. Nice. That's a tricky jump to get. And then we can drop all the way down. And then we can activate the next 3 speakers. So in this next bit, I just need to get up here and disable this spotlight. And then once I've done that, I can then go to the speakers. So going from top to bottom makes the most sense. Get this speaker, and you go down to the next one, and then you go down to the next one. So that's that level done, and now we're on 5-3, which is this world's boss. There is one interesting thing you can do in this boss. You can actually hit the boss twice, but it's very finicky. You can only do it sometimes, and then sometimes stuff like that happens. Well, you think he's going to take the hit, but he doesn't. Ah, yes, I got the double hit. Nice. Hopefully it won't be long until I reach the next rock, but sometimes it can take forever. This level is luck-based. Yeah, it's taking the game its sweet time to bring up another rock. Oh, come on! He seriously shot his laser right before he was going to get hit. That is whack. Okay, so this boss just decided to be extremely rude. So now I have to do the whole thing again. He's on the bottom path, which means I pretty much can't get the double hit. Can I get it here? No. Please, game, let me reach the last rock. Please. Okay, I made it to the last rock. So this next level is a bit interesting. So this next level is a slider puzzle. And the problem with the slider puzzle is that it's RNG, but we can manipulate the RNG. And what I do is I reset the game, and then I get back into the game as quickly as I can. And if you do that, you can get consistent patterns. So I just go into the level, and then I wait for this. I look at the pattern, and then I try and find the exact pattern this is. So I have a Google spreadsheet, which is available online if anyone wants to use it. Okay, I think I found the pattern, and it's a slow pattern. But I found the right pattern, so I just put in the pattern I've got in the spreadsheet. And there we go, that's the level done. And we have this final confrontation, which I do actually have to do. We just need to get through this as quickly as possible. These confrontations can have pretty stupid questions, but this one has pretty easy questions. Oh, I got one of them wrong. Okay, I actually don't remember the questions on these ones. Okay, I'm pretty sure. I thought it was top, top, bottom, bottom, middle. But it's top, top, bottom, bottom, top. And that's the run done. Time. I'm fairly sure that was a world record, but I don't know what the final time is right now. I think that was 27:11. So yeah, that's actually a new world record, which is pretty neat. My current PB before this wasn't exactly optimized, but I managed to pull out a world record, which is quite nice, because I didn't really practice the whole run, I just practiced the important bits more or less. So yeah, the new world record, done on License-a-thon, so that's pretty neat. The run was definitely flawed. It took me a while to get the clip on 3-4, and then by 3 was really stupid, but hey, I did manage to beat my PB, which is really neat. So yeah, that was definitely great to get. And getting that in a marathon as well is also very neat, although I don't have my splits with me unfortunately, so I didn't save them. But yeah, new world record during License-a-thon, so that's really nice. So thank you guys for all having me, it was great to be here, and I wish you all the best of luck for the rest of License-a-thon, including, you know, your donation incentives. Because it is really important that you guys, you know, help the LGBTQ+ in America, especially at this time. Yeah, I just wish you all the best of luck, and thank you all for watching.
Awesome, thank you so much.